Hi, welcome back to class, and this is our last full week of class. And so what's going to happen is this week we're going to start a final discussion, which next week you'll have the opportunity to respond to, and then we will have wrapped up the class. And I just wanted to let you guys know I'm really proud of you. Between both of my classes, so I have this class online, I have a face-to-face class. So between those classes so far, we have 8 published letters that I know about, and so that makes up 15% of the class that got published, and that's great. I know some of you have been sending in your letters, so if you do get it published, let me know, and of course we'll update this, and we have still till I turn final grades in to bump your grade up for it. But let me know exactly what paper it's in and when it was published, and I'll be able to find it online, and we can go ahead and take care of that for you. So I'm really happy with the work that's been done already and the letters that were published. And everyone who didn't publish the letters, you still have done very good in the class, and I'm really proud of the work you've done. There's been some great discussions and some wonderful posts, and so I hope you pat yourself on the back. I know it's difficult taking an online class. We don't get to actually see each other, and I think there has been some sense of community built, and you've been able to grow together. And so this week, we're going to try to bring our information together. So you're going to respond to the final discussion from the book. That's the Module 15 discussion, The Politics of Power. And you're going to do your 3 responses on 3 different days as usual. And I notice that you guys are getting used to that format. And like I said before, I know it's kind of new for you, but I hope you have seen over the course of the semester how it works a lot better to actually have a discussion that can pull back and you can have some reflection on. This week we're going to watch a documentary, and it's a documentary about a movie. So it's quite different. It's quite different than some other documentaries you may have seen. Because most documentaries are about an actual aspect of something. This one is about the making of a movie called All the President's Men, which is a movie about the Nixon impeachment. And you're going to have a few questions to answer from that. But I find it very interesting because what they did was, this is the 40th anniversary, this year is the 40th anniversary of them making the film. And so what the filmmakers did was they went back and they interviewed people who were involved with Watergate. And so you have interviews of them. You also have interviews of some of the attorneys who were investigating them. And this was sparked by 2 journalists named Woodward and Bernstein. And so they get into their relationship a bit, and they interview them as well, and so you get some great background information on this. And so here's some of the questions that you're going to answer. So you're going to answer who Woodward and Bernstein are, what was a journalistic mistake that almost derailed their investigation, and a lot of people say that their investigation is the reason why there was any investigation on Nixon at all. Let's see here. They're going to ask. We're going to look at who Deep Throat was, and you're going to see how this investigation began. I want you to answer these of one paragraph answers. So of course we'll work our way down here, and what's interesting about this case is it shows the intersection of pop culture, Congress, the media, the president, public administration, the public. It was partly due to public outcry that this investigation went through. There's a good chance of a lot of investigations that if the public doesn't have any input, that they're not going to go anywhere. The courts also got involved with this, and so there were some Supreme Court justices that Nixon appointed to the Supreme Court, so they play into this as well. So it's really interesting. So those are some of the questions. You're going to complete the Dropbox on that. There actually is another question. I want you to do this as a 3-paragraph answer. This is going to be a longer answer, and I want you to discuss how the documentary shows the intersection of American government with at least 3 of the concepts that we covered in this class. So that's why I want the 3 paragraphs. I want you to discuss how this documentary shows intersection with these elements of government. And remember, even the media is part of our system. So we didn't include it in the textbook, but it's something that we definitely discussed this semester. And the media actually has a responsibility, and so that's one you can discuss. But again, this gives you an opportunity to apply some of the concepts we learned in class, and you can choose any 3 you want, and again, show how they intersect with American government. This is a pretty straightforward question. Make sure that answers at least 3 paragraphs. You know, if you want to go a little bit longer, you can. And then our final discussion. So you have till Sunday evening to make this post. I want you to discuss your main takeaway from this course, or discuss a topic or idea that you felt was interesting, that we touched on, that you wish we may have explored more. And that's part of the reason why, from prior semesters, I've expanded on the discussion on feminism and moral licensing. I initially showed that moral licensing podcast. We listened to that a year ago in this class, and a lot of the students really liked that part. They wanted to expand on it more, and the direction that they wanted to go with was using that to expand into the feminist movement, the women's movement, and that's why I have that in the class now. It's a wonderful social movement, and it shows the resilience of a strong movement. You know, the women's movement has been able to go around many obstacles, and there's been a lot that people have gained from that. And I know that you read that article, and some of you discussed how men can gain from the feminist movement. And one area that I think men can gain is it's nice to be included with some of the aspects of life that men exclude themselves from, like parenting. In the past, a lot of fathers were absent, and there's some great insight in the feminist movement telling men to get involved with some housework and help take care of the kids, and it's something that men can really benefit from. Also, if you take a social problems class, one of the textbooks we use, they point out that a lot of the chronic problems men have may be due to the fact that we're always trying to control everything, and maybe being a little less dominating might be good for our health as well. So, on top of being good for your family and your health, it's also right to treat people fairly. And, I don't think anyone can argue with the idea that women should be treated just as equal as men are. And that's the core question behind the feminist movement is the search for equality. And so that was added to the class because of students asking for more information on it. And I'm glad we went that way. And it worked out. This year we had the Women's March, and we've had a lot of things happen in our culture that have been a result of the feminist movement. And so we'll see how this goes. I think it's going to be a really exciting time. So again, I want to thank you for all of your hard work this semester. If you have any questions, as usual, reach out and send me an email. Once you get letters published, let me know immediately so I can pull these up and give you extra credit. Again, I'm really proud of you guys. I know it's tough taking an online class, and you've worked really hard. So pat yourselves on the back and thank you so much. And if you ever in Spearfish or see me walking around, tap me on the shoulder. It's always nice to meet the students. So thank you. Bye.